Welcome back to my channel. My name's Melissa, and if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel for more astrology videos. If you want to learn more, be sure to give this video a like. If you are a Venus in Pisces, what does it mean to have your Venus in the sign of Pisces? Well, the first thing that really comes to mind really is romance and poetry and music and flowers, the whole 9 yards that comes with um, the typical image of romance and dating. Venus in Pisces is all about the the illusion of love, the pretty parts, the idealism, like the dream partner, I guess you can say. A Venus in Pisces can easily get lost in just this romantic idea of a person and what the relationship should be like and what it is that they could have with this person. A Venus in Pisces is very much at risk of losing themselves in that fantasy of what could be or what should have been or how things should be between two people. And that's really something that they need to watch out for. Definitely is just losing themselves in that and not having a very good idea of what the reality of things are. So that can be pretty dangerous. Venus in Pisces wants to see the good in people, and the way that they relate to people is through putting themselves in the other person's shoes and being able to empathize with them. I feel like that's one of their biggest strengths, is being able to really feel what other people are feeling, and their capacity for just unconditional love. These individuals are able to see something good in everybody, every single person, and be able to love each and every single person for their flaws and everything that makes a person who they are. So they can be incredibly loving, incredibly accepting, and whether or not they draw the line as to how much they will tolerate from other people, that is to be debated for each individual Venus and Pisces, because it can easily go into excess and it can easily go into the territory of them being taken for granted, taken advantage of, and just having their partner like think that it's okay to treat them poorly when really it's not. And it's easy to take advantage of that Venus and Pisces, forgiving nature and accepting nature. And they need to know when is the time to say no. And because the thing is, Venus in Pisces is exalted, it's known for being exalted, and yet at the same time, how do these people really value themselves? When it comes to Pisces, the boundaries are blurred. There are illusions and there are self-delusions and just self-pitying, and how do they seem to value themselves? And it with Venus and Pisces, it just seems to come from being accepted, being loved by all, and it seems that they get their value, their self-worth from other people, and that's not always the best thing, I don't think, because it's almost as if it comes from losing themselves and being able to put themselves last, put everybody else ahead of themselves. And Venus being exalted in Pisces, I don't really see that as like always a good thing, and there needs to be that balance. And Venus in Pisces is not always, they don't always know when to draw that line and when to be balanced, when to finally put themselves first and say everybody else can wait, I need to take care of myself and put my own needs, my own desires first. Venus in Pisces is that drifter, that one person that just is there for everybody and no matter what. I feel like a Venus in Pisces would not want any restrictions placed upon them as far as who they're allowed to love, where they can go, what rules need to be followed in the relationship. I just feel like a Venus in Pisces will want things to be as free flowing, as movable and changeable as they are. A Venus in Pisces can change their hearts very quickly and very easily. So I would not necessarily say that because that they are a water sign that they get involved in and attached very easily. I wouldn't say that for Venus and Pisces, actually. I would say that they are able to move with the times, because their love nature, their relationship nature is very much up and down, and it can be very fluctuating. Yes, they are romantic, and yes, they they do fall very, very deeply and very hard but they're very accepting of the fact that human nature is always changing and it's always evolving, it's always moving, and it doesn't stay in one place for too long. And I feel like a Venus and Pisces relationships can easily be very much scattered because of that, because it's almost as if the lines between each relationship is sort of blurred, and there is not always a clear and definite beginning or ending to each relationship of a Venus and Pisces. It's almost like they can't really let go of caring for another person. Like, let's say it was an ex and they've moved past it, and yet they keep in contact with them. They keep showing that they care about them. This has to do with the Pisces idea of unconditional love and just loving people for their basic human nature, and that includes all their flaws as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be that they still feel romantically for an ex. It could just be that, they're a human and they have feelings and they've been through some stuff, and I'm gonna be there for them just as a person, just as a basic human being who needs another basic human being. They can stay in relationships that are not always necessarily good for them or healthy for them, because Venus and Pisces has a savior mentality. Basically, if you're in a rut, if you're sort of a messy, disorganized, chaotic person whose life is in shambles, they're going to see you and they might be attracted to you. They might feel like it's their job or their duty to save you, to help make you feel good about yourself and just bring light and joy into your life. And in a way, this can sort of seem like a way of self-sabotaging, sort of putting themselves into harm's way, and kind of setting themselves up for disappointment, because they see you as a person who needs help, so they enter your life and they provide service for you and assistance, and just say, here, put all your load onto me, and let me take care of you, let me take care of your problems. I'm here to listen, I'm here to like fix your life and take on all the burdens for you. Self-sacrifice is a huge Venus and Pisces way of showing love, that they care for you, and in this way they can lose themselves. Like I mentioned, they can easily lose themselves and lose who they are, lose their identity, what it is that they will and won't stand for. They need to see and recognize that, in relationships, not everything is their burden to take, not everything is for them to take the load. Not everything is always their problem. It doesn't need to be their problem. And perhaps a Venus and Pisces can use love and relationships and romance as a way of escaping their own problems, their own life, and just running away from reality, running away from responsibilities. And that's definitely one of the downsides to this Venus placement. The Venus in Pisces can be easily sensitive, very easily hurt, and this is because they soak in so much. They soak in all the vibes of the people around them, and if they're in a toxic relationship, they're going to soak in those vibes. So it's super important for them to be a little bit more selective with who they spend their time with and who they devote themselves to, who they're helping out, and who they're letting into their hearts. They're so sensitive, and they're also very, 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 very intuitive about when it comes to relating, when it comes to how they connect with people and what their relationships are like. It's like almost as if they know what you're about to say before you say it, and they get this feeling, they get this vibe that there's something wrong, or you need to say something, they open themselves up to that. Venus in Pisces also might easily just kind of gloss over your flaws, gloss over your imperfections, and just pretend like everything's okay. Anything that's wrong in the relationship, they're the most likely to give you the most chances every single time you screw up. They can just be way too forgiving about it and way too accepting. And ruled by Neptune, Pisces wants the perfect picture. They want to paint over the imperfections and the ugly parts, the gray parts, the parts that they don't want to face, they don't want to look at. That's just really unrealistic. And to other people, they might try to present something much better about the relationship than what it really is, than for what it really is, and what it's really like beneath the surface. And so They're just going to pretend like everything is okay, like everything is fine and everything's perfect, and he does this for me and I do this for him and we're so perfect together. But in reality, like, it's almost as if they're like lying to themselves, because they want so badly to believe the best in people and believe that, their relationship is that one, it's that, it's couple goals or whatever. And it can be really heartbreaking for them when they come home and it's not everything that they wanted it to be and everything that they had imagined for it to be. And it's just a whole lot of idealism from the very beginning, from the very moment that they fall in love with you. It's all just roses and smoke and mirrors, and it's an illusion that they're sort of setting themselves up for, just seeing you for who they want to see you as. It can be really disenchanting for a Venus in Pisces to come back to Earth and finally come to the realization that it's not it and that this is not where they should be. The Venus in Pisces wants to merge with you. If you're together with one, they're gonna want to be, one and the same with you. If you guys can connect with each other on like the deepest, most intimate soul level connection, that if that's possible, and if you're able to reciprocate that back to them, you might have them for life. And if you're able to be just as intuitive with them and with their needs, their desires, as much as possible, without them needing to explain themselves or spell it out exactly for you, you could keep them, and they're really going to be attracted to that. Venus in Pisces is really attracted to softer types, the poetry and the romance and just those creative, soulful, deep types. People who are not afraid to be vulnerable, and people who seem like they need saving or like at their wits' end, maybe. Just someone that they can be there for, and someone that they can pour their entire heart towards and sort of lose themselves within. Venus in Pisces might try to use love or use a partner as sort of a distraction for their own life, and put all their love, all their unconditional love and compassion and empathy into this person, into this relationship, to maybe try to avoid their own life and the dreariness of their own reality. And that's another reason why they want to see it through rose-colored glasses and pretend, because this is a fantasy. Love to them is like a fantasy. Romance is a fantasy. It's an escape, and it's a getaway from their normal life. This is what love is to a Venus in Pisces. This is sort of the image of love that they have in their head. That's how it's represented, as it should be this, and it should look this way, and it should be pretty, and it should be smooth, and it should be like perfect, because my life is not perfect and the world is not perfect. And so this is how I want to see it as. This is where I need to be distracted. So the Venus in Pisces partner will be very giving, very open, very compassionate, and very much just generous of everything, of all that they are, their whole entire life and heart. They're just ones to just keep giving and giving and giving and almost never expect anything in return. A pure Venus in Pisces, that is. A Venus in Pisces I don't really see them as really needing anybody. I see a lot of other people needing a Venus in Pisces. And it's just the way that they present themselves to other people in relationships and how they relate to others, as just being the one that's there and being the one that's always available and always going to listen to you, always knows how you feel, can just sense what you're feeling and thinking without you even having to say it. And so I feel like a lot of people will gravitate towards a Venus in Pisces and be attracted to them because of that, because of how easily they blend together with other people, and they're able to do that. They're able to merge with you and feel what it is you're feeling, and be in your shoes and experience what it is that you're feeling. And so I can sort of see them as being very high in demand because of that. Who doesn't want to feel understood, and who doesn't want somebody who's able to accurately say, I know how you feel and I know what you mean? Like, that's their trademark thing, and that's something that they could be known for. That is definitely their attractive factor. Just being able to give, and the right person for Venus and Pisces will keep their own selves accountable, and be able to give back just as much as they do. Venus and Pisces won't always ask for it. They won't always ask for what it is that they need or what they want. Sometimes they don't even always acknowledge it, and sometimes it's just always 100% about the partner, all about you. As their partner, you would need to be mindful of that and understand that they have limits that they're not always aware of themselves. So I think that's about it for Venus and Pisces. If you enjoyed this video, or if you're related to it at all, or if you are Venus and Pisces, please let me know. And please remember to like the video if it resonated with you. I'm not sure what series or video I should do next, because we've completed Mercury, we've completed Venus, and I'm thinking maybe Mars or the moon signs next. Or if you guys have any other suggestions for me, then that would be great. I would love to know. Anything different, I'm open to doing. Any weird or unique ideas you might have, I'm open to doing. So just let me know. Please be sure to follow my other social medias at lunarcappy. And I hope you have an amazing day today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.